Me a little bit about Never Was Studio. Tell me a little bit about that and the start of it and everything like that.
Yeah, you want me to take it, James?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, so Never Was it's essentially kind of our think tank and testing grounds for design projects. So what I mean by that is its name Never Was because currently all the projects on there don't exist. They're completely made up, do not exist, and that is kind of the point in our challenge with it is we wanted to embark on and create a space that we could create projects and live in a world where we would be enveloped in these kind of typical dream projects that you'd always thought you'd maybe work on by now, and we hadn't yet. And we haven't worked together. We've known each other for like 16 years, something like that.
Oh, we're pushing 20, buddy. We're older than we think.
Yeah. But we went to college together. We've worked in the same spaces. We've taught together, but we've never worked together kind of in a professional manner. So we created a space to do that. And what it's done so far is allowed us to explore and learn new skills, but we're also letting it kind of become its own thing. And by that, I mean, it's leading to conversations to work, which wasn't really an intention. It's more of, if it happens, great, but it's kind of our playground. So we've led into some pretty good conversations with just the couple of projects that are on there already. And currently we've kind of almost hit pause on it because it's transferred into our third project that we're going to put up. We're actually breathing life into and making that a reality ourselves. So that's where it's allowed us to shift into a whole entire different area where we brought on a partner to realize a whole separate project on its own. So that is essentially what Never Was and why it was created. We come from a background of agencies. I've run a studio. I've freelanced in the past. So if this becomes something in that vein, we're happy if it does. But right now, it's really our think tank.
Yeah, and that's it. To echo that, there's no pressure to it, which I think is what makes it fun, is that we give ourselves, deadlines, if you will, and we work on projects, but it doesn't have to make money. It doesn't have to allow us to quit our day job. It's a way for us to have creative exercises outside of what we're doing for a living. And if something comes of it, great. That's awesome. And we're there to support and kind of push it and nurture it that way. But it doesn't have to, which it takes a lot of that kind of day-to-day out of it, which is nice.
So then in a way, do you guys working on Never Was Studio, but also having your day-to-day jobs, I mean, do you guys then share like a shared creative cloud then in a way, and then obviously like share those assets among each other? And then are you guys on the phone pretty regularly, like just trying to figure out a project? Or do you guys kind of go, no, well, I'll let you take this, you do this, and I'll do this, and then we'll come back together at the end and we'll collaborate on how to make it a real deal?
No, it's collaborative from the beginning, right? It's every time we're coming up with a new project, we're kind of just spitballing together. It's your typical concepting session of, nothing's a dumb idea. You're just throwing stuff out there. And yeah, the technical or the business side of it, yeah, we have all of our own Creative Cloud subscriptions and website and Figma subscriptions, and we just handle that as Venmo between one another. That's as official as it gets as we're passing money back and forth between each other.
Part of Never Was when we started, we knew we had to hold ourselves to a actual schedule. Otherwise, we didn't want to.
We'd never do anything. Yeah,
right. Everybody has those creative ideas. We're like, man, that'd be sweet to do, and then you forget about it, or you don't have time. So we started from the beginning, set up an hour long every single Friday. We get on Zoom just like this, and we powwow over ideas. We catch up on where projects are. We show each other stuff. We push things along and talk next steps. So it is very scheduled and it is very intentional, but there's also weeks where life does happen. It is our side thing. So if we have a full-time gig and we're on a shoot and we can't make it, or if family stuff happens, we just are very open with that and say, hey, we'll check back in next week. it really hasn't happened too many times. And a lot of times, if it does, we'll move it to like the following Monday if we have some stuff that we really want to cover. But our current project that we brought on a third guy for, like, same thing, that's taken over our weekly Friday meetings. But it's as simple as we have a text chain that we're kind of going back and forth with. It's pretty open communication, but it's definitely scheduled. Otherwise, we know each other well enough that we just would be like, that was fun to talk about.
And not just to hammer on that idea of intention, but that's everything we're doing. Every bit of communication we're having is very intentional. We're, like Adam said, we're planning those next steps. We're thinking about what we're doing. We're not taking this lightly, even though it is like a side gig, quote unquote. We're taking it just as seriously as we take our day jobs.
NBA, NFL, or MLB?
James?
Well, okay, so I take umbrage with this question because you're missing a few of the big ones, right? So Adam answered for me yesterday. He said like NHL or Premier League, which would easily be up there for me.
Okay.
But of your list of what you provided of your less than list, it would be NFL for me.
Well, don't just crap on his question here, man.
That's what I do best, right? I'm going to come in, I'm going to be critical, and then I'll answer the question.
NFL for me. I've got Chiefs season tickets. So
nice. Chiefs all the way. Yeah. Chiefs all the way. Go-to food in your city.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, well, for a long time it was Char Bar, but I actually realized that it's now gone to Meat Mitch, and it's fantastic. Have you gotten there yet, James?
Yeah, we went there.
Did we go there? Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was clearly memorable for you. Yeah. For me, I live dangerously close to Farmer's Gastropub here in Springfield.
Nice.
And there's nothing quite like a patio beer out there in the early summer.
Nice. If you could create anything you wanted for a client, what would you create?
I think that's kind of the whole purpose of Never Was, right? It's kind of what we're doing. We said we wanted to work on beer, and so we made a beer brand, and then it was like, well, hot sauce, you can kind of do whatever you want. So let's make a hot sauce brand. I think that's the beauty of Never Was, is that we've answered that question like by literally doing it. And it's been a ride.
Seconded. Yeah. I mean, that is the purpose. And so it's just us of what's next, what's something we haven't done that we've wanted to. So yeah.
Apple or PC?
Apple.
Yeah. It seems to be like, I don't know if we have a choice at this point.
Yeah, I'm so deeply embedded in the Apple ecosystem. I don't think I could get out if I even tried.
I feel 75 if I get on a PC. Like, I just don't know how to do things.
I interacted with Windows 11 for the first time last week, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Vector or raster?
Vector.
Yeah, Vector.
Which I say that as a web designer. I know that's brutal. I can do SVGs, but yeah, it's Vector all the way.
And then if you were to survive in the forest, what are 3 items that you would bring?
James, you had a good answer to this.
Yeah, yesterday I said my house, my wife, and I think I said an unlimited supply of Miller High Life was my third option. And then my joke answer that we can go with is I said a hatchet, but the one by Gary Paulson, not a real hatchet.
I mean, I don't know how to beat those. I think I was like fire, and then you said, well, my house, and I was like, okay, you.
Well, and Adam has 2 kids, and notice how those didn't come up in his answer.
No, I'm going to be trouble to feed my mouth. I'm going to bring more people.
Adam, what's your answer?
I mean, fire does still seem like a good thing to have.
Do you just pack fire, or is it matches?
No, I mean, it's always on. It's just always on fire.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. How do I carry all this fire?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't something to make fire. If you're gonna be specific, I don't know what that would be because I've never had to actually just make fire. So whatever.
Look at us. We're not people that find ourselves in the woods very often.
So yeah, if I can go to like Shields, the sports store, and they can say this will make fire for you, I'll trust that, and I'll bring that. I think I'll be very practical. Something to catch food, right? So that I guess fishing stuff. I'm in a forest though, aren't I? Not an ocean.
Yeah.
Oh God,
this is already not going well for you. You're dead by day 2.
Oh no. I'll bring James, and then he'll bring his.
What am I gonna do?
Bring your 3 things. I'll bring your 3 things, and I'll just bring you.
Okay. Yeah, I was a Boy Scout, but I didn't make it to an Eagle Scout for a reason.
Oh gosh. Favorite Adobe program?
Can I still say Figma? Is that allowed?
Even though they're
divesting? Yeah.
Figma counts.
If Figma's allowed, I'll go with that. If not, I'd go After Effects.
Okay. Cool.
It's just my it's always been my extension of what I can do with things.
Well, we kind of covered a whole bunch of different things, even within the rapid fire of the beginning of this podcast. So I want to first ask before we go, one is where is somewhere you guys can be followed at and liked and all those things?
So we have a very small Instagram, which will be contacted you.
Please follow us.
Yes, please be like the 47th.
Yeah, my mom follows us. Yeah. So if a woman in her 70s can figure out how to follow me, everybody else, please.
Well, and I think we're on the phone, and I was like, I think we got our 43rd follower today, dude.
Oh,
you pulled it up, and you're like, my mom follows us? You didn't even know she did. Which is great. I think our next one, so we're in the slow build of this next project. So I will push that. It's called Wrench and Rally. And that is what we are purely focusing our attention on. It's an automotive kind of quarterly print. And so we do have an Instagram up. We're basically in content gathering phase for it. Mm-hmm. So we are fully built out and branded. But it is like behind the scenes right now, full content creation right now. So, but Wrench and Rally is what I will push over Never Was. There's Never Was is mentioned on it. It's called the Never Was publication. But yeah, I'll push that all day long.
Yeah. And then if you want to follow Never Was, we're at Never Was Studio, basically anywhere you can find us.
Awesome. And then thank you guys for hopping along and doing this. And